and we're glad you're joining us today to talk about our stitching and other stuff. It's January, middle of January, 16th, 2020.
Middle of January.
I know. It's going to be the end of January before we know it.
I know. Pretty bleak outside too, but I don't mind. I do like winter.
Ugh, I do not.
I do. That's why I want to move to a cold climate. I like winter.
I mean, I like it in theory, but in practice, I'm just kind of ready for it to be sunny. I miss the sun.
I'm a burrower. It's like to burrow. It gives me the excuse to burrow.
We have one girl sharing with us today, and we have a featured friend. Should we do a girl first?
Yes.
She wants to show about her outfit. This is a new outfit. Get a little peek of my messy house.
Oh, that's cute. Is that new?
Yeah, you
Yes.
just kick your foot up a little.
Has it got leggings?
Yeah, it has leggings. With ruffles on.
Oh my gosh. Is this one of the things you got at the consignment shop?
Yeah, so this week we went into the consignment shop looking for like leggings, or boots. There was a couple things we just needed that the girls had either worn through or outgrown.
Turn
And
around. What's the back look like? Oh, I thought maybe the bow went cute.
kind of just a little dress. It's kind of soft, stretchy. I don't know what the material is like, right?
Cute.
She this consignment store has a bunch of like handmade boutique things in the back that she contracts. I think somebody she pays them to buy them and probably resells them or something at her store. So I got the girls each, and they were really, really reasonable. Normally those kind of outfits would be like $40, $50. I think
15.
they were each 15 to 20 for a whole set.
Are your sisters ruffly like that too? With little ruffles on the leggings, or are they different styles?
And Liddy has jeans and a shirt, but the jeans are like distressed and they have spurs.
Oh,
Yeah, they have like holes, but instead of just being holy, behind them they have like a sequiny patch or whatever on Liddy's jeans with a matching pink. Does it have it's like a pink shirt? Does it have leopard print or something on the collar or on the sleeves?
And then there's
sounds like Liddy.
have leopard print.
And then Rosie picked out the same one as Millie.
Cute.
They're just like they go up to a certain, like maybe are you in a 4 or 5? So Millie's in the largest size they had there. So soon it won't be an option really for.
Yeah. Well, at least you got to get in on one.
Yeah, but Liddy's in the next size down. So we'll just kind of have to keep our eyes on.
I don't know.
Even though she probably would be in this size for the dress, but in her outfit she was
But
like
in
a
the
4XL instead of 5. Anyway,
sure.
It was a fun little discovery, and they're pretty cute, and they were excited to wear the pictures today.
Fun.
What have you been stitching?
I've been stitching.
You've been stitching on your stitching.
I bet you've been stitching on your frosted pumpkin stitchery. Yeah.
Stitching on Christmas celebrations and frosted pumpkin stitchery.
Okay.
Yeah, and where are you at on it?
Millie keeps Christmas in her heart all year round.
Yeah, this will make you feel cheerful in July when you're working.
This is Millie's my Christmas girl.
Okay. Here, I'll scoot back.
So did you do the letters underneath it? Because I remember there were 2 people in there last time.
And then I
Did
finished
you do all of
it.
this
Yeah.
week?
Oh,
Little gray border.
And then I started doing
the border.
Border
Okay.
for the next one.
Moving your way over to the next square.
Making your way over. Yeah, you're almost ready to work on H, huh? Which is hot cocoa.
Yeah.
It's a cute one.
Cute.
Too.
Such a cute design.
H.
Yeah.
And this was sent to us. Did Julie send this? Yeah, Julie.
Yeah, Julie did.
Yes,
I might have to borrow that from you when you're done with it, Missy.
No.
I like it.
you. She just works on it every night. Good
So
job.
cute.
Well, we have a featured friend too this week from Tina, which is kind of pertinent to what you're going to talk about later.
Yes.
So, Tina, did you see it? You want to see it?
Well, because I showed last week, if you didn't watch last week, this is a preview. I showed that I had finished one of the Tolden and Gardens freebie angel patterns that I had started in 2000. So I showed that last week. I have a frame, but then Tina sent us, of course, amazing stuff.
So I'll put the pictures right here.
that's right.
Modified the colors to be the red and the gold rather than the whites and the golds. And she took off the wings and the halo, I think. Well, no, maybe some of the beads are different. But then also added the letters onto that stocking. Gorgeous. And then the other ones, I should just read the thing. She said, I thought you'd like to see a modified version of the lavender lace freebie. Converted the reds and gold and removed the wings. I have another photo of another freebie as a stocking, which is you stitched that one too, right?
That one I did, and it's in that oval frame.
Frame that you were talking about last week.
Yeah.
That's the other stocking. And then the last one is Celtic Christmas. She says she turned into a stocking for herself. And she got the bands and lettering from that for the smaller stocking. So beautiful. I love those. Cool. They're just
beautiful work, Tina. You just do such stunning things.
I know. And the cording around it, I'm in awe. Because, you know, I'm saying how much I struggle with the cording.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Really beautiful. Thank you for sending those, Tina.
Yeah.
To see your different work.
And I love that elegant lady. Did she say, was that a lavender and lace? Did she say what that was?
Yeah, I think so. She said she turned the Celtic Noel into a stocking, and that looks like lavender and lace.
Yeah, it probably is. Although it looks kind of like those blended, it looks kind of like a Celtic lady.
I'll have to Google it after.
Yeah.
Or Tina, you can comment and tell us if that's a lavender and lace pattern as well.
So just as we're talking about the angels, because I loved finishing that so much. And when I went last weekend after we Flosstubed and I was looking at the other free ones that are out there, I decided I wanted to stitch another one that's red and green because it will go with the other one that I have in the gold frame. So I did print the pattern, but I sent Sarah the picture because her phone, it's the 2001 free angel and she's just holding a candle. And I love her. And I think all those little flowers in her dress are beads.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, when I was looking at the pattern. So I went to my friendly Threadneedle Street and I got all the flosses for it.
In the picture, what's going on with her face? Why is the lower half, okay, see, look at the picture. The lower half is she wearing a mask?
No, I think that's just, I think there's two colors, but I don't know why they
maybe it's just the way the photograph turned out funny.
Yeah.
It's probably just the photograph, but
yeah. But I'm looking.
That'd be funny.
And just a second. No, those red in her dresses, the pattern in her dress, those are done with acrylic.
But they're not French knots. They're just acrylic.
They're just acrylic, I guess. Yeah.
Pretty. So we're talking.
So I bought two acrylics. Yeah. Gold and this deep red. I just dropped my beads, but there are beads. The beads are, I think, around the bottom of her dress.
And maybe a halo.
Yeah, the gold is around her halo. Anyway, I went ahead and got all the stuff for that because I thought, oh, and there's Whisper. I haven't worked with Whisper. I don't know if I've ever worked with Whisper.
Yeah, that might be at her collar and her.
I'm a little freaked out about working with this Whisper.
I think it'd be kind of fun to try.
Well, I don't even know. I don't even know where you find the end. I don't. Pray for me when I get to that point.
Google it, Mom. Google, like, look on YouTube how to use Whisper before you start, and then you won't make mistakes like you did with was it the
Valdani's?
You used to do when you were, Valdani, and then I feel like when you used to do the weeks, you would unthread them all and didn't know you could just snip along the bottom. So just do a little Google.
Undo it, measure my arm, snip, measure my arm.
We live in the age of technology.
I bought a piece of linen for $4.50. It just needs a little tiny piece for this little girl. It's called Fairy Dust. And it's just kind of an off-white cream. Anyway, that's part of my haul, but I thought I would just show it now since we're talking about those angels.
Fun.
And I don't know. I mean, I kind of thought about maybe not doing the wings on her, but I have wings on the other one. So I think I'll probably do the wings.
I would keep the wings.
Keep the continuity going.
I would. Yeah, for that reason at least.
So bummed I dropped those beads down there because they're there in the very back part of my desk down there.
Like crawl around later to get them because you don't have anybody living there that can get them for you anymore.
Maybe I'll send my husband down there. Okay, so that's for my haul. But anyway, thank you so much, Tina. It actually kind of gives me more motivation to keep stitching these little things.
Yeah, they're so pretty. Do you have any finishes this week? I do not. And I don't have any winter finishes that I want to
Did I
show.
have no, I don't have a finish. I have a new start, but I don't have a finish.
I have a couple new starts too. Well, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
First last time, I think.
Huh?
I went first last time.
Okay, I can go first.
You go first.
Okay, I'm not going to do these in any particular order, but mostly what I just worked on was my Bringo stuff. And then I did do a little bit of work on my Whipgo, and I'll talk about that in a minute.
And if you're new to our channel, when we talk about Bringo, it's an event being hosted by Carolyn Zook and Robin Hall as part of the Magazine Monthly Challenge Facebook group. So it's fun.
Find that on Facebook. You can join in. You can join in at any time, but it's probably a little late, but you could stitch a lot and catch up pretty quick. So this is what my board is looking like. I am all caught up today, and I've stitched either an hour or 100 stitches on each of these this month.
Wait, where's your bingo?
In here.
Oh, right there.
I did get a bingo this week. Yes.
Guess what?
Did you get one too?
I got 2 today.
Ooh, lucky. I don't think I have another one yet.
Yeah.
Today's the
Today is
yeah,
bird, something with a bird.
Yeah, or an animal, I think.
Oh yeah, maybe that's bird or animal.
This was my magazine new start, which was square number 1. And I got a little started on it. I just totally picked my own colors. I think I might be using mostly classic colorworks. Started on the cow.
Cute.
So there's that little bit. That's probably an hour's worth of stitching. Well, it's probably 100 stitches. I think I probably only did 100 stitches. Usually I stitch more than 100 in an hour. So if I'm pressed for time, I'll do the 100 stitches goal. But if I have a lot of time to sit and stitch, I'll do the whole hour. Oh, that's Millie's.
My stitching time, I mean, I don't really have a good rate because I stop and watch. If I'm watching TV, I'll kind of pause for a minute.
Yeah, I just know because I kind of gauge it. I'm like, if I can get 100 done in less than an hour, and I know I'm going to be in a hurry then. I had a new start this week. I forget the rest.
Oh.
And I'm working, I think I started in the middle. So I think I'm working around in here. You can't really tell.
It's a lot of stitching.
It was a lot of stitching.
It's beautiful on that fabric though.
So pretty on this fabric. And that color that's all one color.
Oh, wow.
Variegated one. It's
what is that? I bought it for you, but I don't even know what it is.
It's brown. It's kind of messy, but it's brown.
Oh, it's got the blue in it too?
No, blue.
Oh, it looked like there was a little bit of blue.
Gray.
Oh, it's just darker gray.
Dark brown and gray. I think that's all brown bear. I'm pretty sure that's all that one color.
Wow,
Beautiful. I don't think
beautiful.
I did any color change. I think I just worked up in different rows. So that was fun to start, and I'll be working on that again tonight for a whip with a bird in it. I need to put it in a project bag still. It's been in the box that you gave it to me in, but I just took that box for something else. I worked on a whip with words was called for Bringo as well. So I pulled out this old goodie, Garden Fresh from Little House Needleworks, which I do really love this one. I think it would be really cute as like a kind of like a bell pull type of a sampler. I would just finish it and hang it as is.
Yeah, you could probably YouTube the directions to do that too.
Technology. And I did that little pea pod. I'm also just choosing my own colors on this.
Yeah.
Because I think it only called for fancy flosses, and I didn't have all this, like I wasn't going to invest a ton of money into this one because I thought I had some cute colors.
Are you using fancy flosses or just DMCs?
I'm using a mixture. So like this is fancy floss, but this is DMC.
Yeah.
I think the actual peas are a fancy floss, but the pea pod I did with just a DMC.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a mixture of the two, but that one is
So
kind
cute.
of fun. I dyed this fabric and it is fun to work on. It's Ada, and I do like stitching on anything even weave. It's just, I like stitching on linen too, but there's something really simple about stitching on anything that's even.
Oh, it just goes a little faster. You're not hunting for the holes as
I
much.
think that might be, yeah. My smallest whip, well, when I was making my plan, I forgot that I had that little reoless star. So I had chosen this as my smallest whip, but technically the other one probably was, but I'd already put this on. So I worked a little bit on my Twilight Angel, and I'm working down on the skirt. Did some yellows. She is coming
Along on her.
along. Let me put a little something in here because my lighting is sort of weird today. Yeah.
Wow.
So I did all this.
Yeah, she's really coming along.
She is. She's another one I like stitching on. Ada.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I really enjoy seeing this one unfold.
Yeah.
Every
Sure,
stitch kind of
patterns.
makes a difference on some of these smaller patterns. You don't have to stitch very long to see.
Yeah, that's
Result.
true. I know I've gotten a lot more. Okay, so like in the past, even now, I'll see a pattern like, oh, I just love that pattern. And you know, I look at the whole thing and it's just the whole thing together. But I've gotten a lot more. I'm scrutinizing them a little bit more, and I'm like, you know, I love this pattern, but this pattern is going to be boring to stitch because sometimes, you know, they're just
Huge
big blocks of color that are, I mean, it turns out cool in the end, but
Yeah.
I'm finding myself critiquing patterns a little bit more before I commit to them.
Yeah, about what you're going to actually like stitching.
But I'm going to actually like to stitch on it, even though I know that if I just did it, I'm going to like the end result. But I have to weigh, is the stitching time involved going to be worth the payoff?
How much are you going to be likely to ever finish it? Because
Yeah, I think that's, how likely is Sarah going to inherit this piece? Hey, I should just run all my projects through you. Do you like this one? Okay, I'll start it.
this one's probably going to come your way in 10 years. How likely are you to finish it? I have to predict my 10 year from now self. I started my turkey. And
that's gorgeous too.
I love this. So
there's a lot of stitching.
There's a lot of stitching in it. It's so pretty though. Oh my gosh. And someone graciously contacted me this week and said they have most of this series when they heard that I was saying eventually I want to stitch all of these, and offered to pass them to me, which I was like, oh, yes, because every single one I feel like in this series is kind of drool worthy. The use of the colors and just the design. I love the placement in the frame. I think I'll probably try to find a frame very similar to that. I might pick something that I can pop them in and out of. So I might pick a little bit more neutral, but I love how close it is to the frame.
It's nice. Yeah.
But
those designs, so the new series coming out.
Yeah.
I was looking at those thinking, I love these. And that was one of the ones I thought, am I really going to stitch that? No.
How much am I going to want to do this one? This one, I think I would enjoy. Look how many, like, there's not a lot of boring blocks. Kind of like you were saying, like there's a lot of color.
There is
changes, which can be a negative for some patterns because then you're constantly changing. But I mean, it's blocks of color,
right?
With other blocks of, it's kind of broken up.
Yeah, I love the leaves. I love all the leaves.
That's where I started last night. Was just on the top. I decided to start it on the top left because I have this big piece of fabric. It won't take up the whole piece. So I decided.
I bought you all the called for. So
all the called for. Yes, I have everything. Here, let me block the light behind it. So there's the beginning of my leaves, just up in the top corner there. This is up here.
Yeah.
So pretty, and it was just nice to stitch on and peaceful, and I was really enjoying stitching this one.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty.
Because right before I started it, I was trying to work on my whip go piece, which is my Snow Queen, and realized I have to pull a ton out.
What?
I made a counting mistake, and now I realize I am just going to stitch it by 100 square blocks. I was kind of doing color lines, like, so I wasn't having to anchor my threads, whatever you call it. But I
Mark 'em.
made one stitching error and now I have to undo a ton.
Do you? I'm sorry.
I'll show you just a second. My needle is caught through the fabric.
That is a lot to pick out on blue too.
I was really disappointed. So I started doing some of the picking out. Let me pop this off so that you can see the whole thing I have to undo. So here is my Snow Queen so far. This is her bodice, and this is her arm that's going down towards the reindeer. I guess I can show you the picture. If you're not familiar with it, this is what I'm working on. So I basically had that front line of her bodice and her dress, like kind of the bodice right here, her breast and some of her arm. And then I had gone down here and started across and started that rear arm. When I realized as I was doing this rear arm that it wasn't lining up to, it's kind of hard to see, there's this black that had come up to here.
Oh.
And it was one stitch off, like the black was one stitch too high or the arm was one stitch too low. I wasn't sure which. Actually, thankfully, I think the error is in, I didn't make this line of blue long enough. Even though I counted and counted and counted, I still somehow made a counting error. So I do have to tear out all this.
All the bottom?
Basically from here down.
Oh.
So I'm kind of glad I don't have to tear this out. This is easy enough to pick out because it's just straight lines of stitching.
Yeah.
Not quite as much really as up here.
I know, but
it was kind of a crushing blow to realize I had made a mistake. And then I think, but this is where I started. And ever since I stitched that, I'd already pulled some of it out once and redone a line. I had some going this direction or maybe this direction, and I'd already pulled some of that out.
okay.
So but after that, so I worked on this probably about a year ago.
Yeah.
About a year. I haven't made very fast progress because I think what I realized is I needed to stitch chunks of chunks rather than lines. And so what I will do when I redo it is I will just take a section and I'm probably just going to park my threads to some extent. I already did that up here. Like I have a thread. Well, that's the one I'm pulling out. Anyways, so I got a nice hour of working on this.
The bodice is turning out beautiful though.
I know, it is so pretty. And I love this piece so much that it's worth it. I won't just put this aside. I will.
Yeah.
Usually when I have to rip out stuff and I have to frog it, I usually will just do it, get it, like yank that Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to just move on. And sometimes usually then I make faster progress after that. I know.
There's no sense in dreading it because you want to get the piece done.
Someday. Yeah, maybe Millie will inherit this one. I don't know.
No, you'll
Probably
get it done.
ask if she likes it enough to keep. No, I will finish it. So that's everything I think I worked on except my knitting, which I will show because I made some good progress on Millie's sweater. I went to this, by the way, I went to this Christmas ladies party the other day, well, a couple weeks ago with my friend. And it was mostly people I didn't know.
Christmas?
Yeah, it was around Christmas time. It was like a Christmas party exchange.
Okay.
And I went, and my friend Kristen is a gal I know from our homeschool co-op. It was people she knew from all kinds of areas of her life all came together. She does this big party every year. It's like a exchange. You bring 3 of a favorite thing, and then 3 different people go home with your favorite thing, and you
You took the little scissors.
So I took my little embroidery scissors. I think I showed that. Yeah. But I got there and she introduced everybody first. Like there were like 25 of us there, and she went around and said something she loved about each person there.
Oh.
But she said, "This is my friend Sarah," and she said a few other things. And she goes, "And she and her mom are the cutest and have a YouTube cross stitch channel." And like everybody was like, "Really? What's it called?" So if you were Kristen's friend and you happen to be watching us, welcome. Because a few people, she messaged me later, "What's the name of your thing? I have a couple of people asking me."
Oh, I hope they came over and gave us a watch.
I know. So that would be fun to have some local stitching friends too. I am working on this sweater for Millie. This is so that's the back, the cardigan, the front. I've been working on these pockets and the red is done. So I've cut all those terrible threads that were attached to my knitting bag. And I have the entire back of this pocket knit. So now they are ready to join. But what I'm a little confused about in the pattern is it doesn't have any directions on how to join the side of the pocket to the side, you know, like it talks about how to join it at the bottom, but not what to do to make sure there's not holes on the side of the pocket.
There's not?
I've read through the directions a few times looking to see what I could find. And I figured, well, I'm just going to keep going with the pattern and maybe I'm just missing it. And if I am, if it's not in there, I'll just seam them up. You know?
Well, that's interesting because I did that pattern and I was not a totally experienced. I mean, I was an okay knitter.
Fairly early on.
And I think if I figured it out,
I know.
I mean, if there had been a problem with the pattern, I would have remembered that. So maybe whatever she has you doing. I
figured I'll just keep going.
Yeah.
Everything I'm seeing just says basically to knit these two together. So the bottom will be joined with the pocket. And then when you put your hand in, the bottom will be there.
Yeah.
But I can still put my finger through the side of where the pocket. So I'll just sew it up because I can't find any directions in the pattern about it. So I'm just going to go with it for now. Yeah. That can be in the finishing work at the end if it's really not in the pattern.
Right.
So that's everything I worked on.
Okay. That was a lot. Thank you, Bringo.
Thank you, Bringo. I touched a lot of different things. Yeah. And Mom, I'm watching out the window if I have to go if Anna comes.
Okay. Okay. So last week I talked about how I was working on, I'm just going to kind of go in the order. I'm looking at my planner. So I had worked on my WIPCO was Hawk Run Hollow Christmas. I don't think I had this part done. I think I did this throughout the week. So,
I think so too. Yeah, you just had the darker brown house done.
So I'm on this square. So I've done this.
And you were freaking out because you were worried about your chimney, and then you had realized
So I'm just about to the point where I'm going to be above the door, and then I'll work over there. It's a lot. And then I realized I had this whole fence to do, and this is all filled in with white.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can see that now.
Yeah, it's charming.
Once you get all those other things done, though, you'll just fill in. And actually,
I know, but it's stitching. You know, when I followed somebody that finished this pattern. So Happy New Year's, this ship, and this is all black. I think they said it took 3 skeins of 310 to do that background.
But it's really effective.
Very effective.
Really effective.
How likely are you going to finish this?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I worked on that a couple different times. So I met my 4-hour goal on that. So I just need to do 4 hours on my other WIPCO piece. I mean, my other Hawk Run, and then I'll have met my goal for the month. And then I had a new start. It was a magazine new start as part of Ringo. I don't know what number it was.
It was number 1.
Was it number 1? Okay.
That one just stood in my head. I knew that was number 1.
So I should have put these in order, but I didn't. Okay, so I had talked. Oh no, that's not it. Where did they go? Where did it go? It was Janine Blue Flower.
McGowan.
Yes, Janine from Blue Flower. It was. I wanted to start from the Primitive Stitcher and Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. It was her Seasons of the Heart series, and that's the December offering with that little partridge up there.
I love the fox.
I
love the fox down in the corner.
Yes, isn't he cute? And I started right up here. It's like a snowdrop. What do they call those?
Yeah, snowdrop, right?
Yeah.
Oh, pretty. That kind of makes me think of the Joyful World motif.
Yeah.
It has
as I was stitching it, so I did the border and then I started in, but I somehow turned my pattern around and I realized, no, maybe it wasn't this one. There was a piece I worked on this week where I caught myself because I had turned the pattern around watching TV, and I was stitching it upside down. And I had to take out like 10 stitches, but luckily I caught it. So I did that. wildflower. Okay, so this one got stitched on a couple of times this week because it met a couple of goals. It met an outside activity, and it also.
Oh, I forgot to grab my outside activity one to show. That's okay.
I'm doing wildflower. This is the one that I started for a house. I thought, wait a minute. So, and I started it over anyway on new fabric. And I basically, the first time I worked on it, I started it and did like 2 bees. And then put it away. And then the next night I finished that bee and then did the wings on all 3 bees. And then I did, this is the flower.
Oh yeah.
I dropped down. Yeah, I really like it. This is very interesting fabric. It's very dark, but I think I'm gonna like it. I did change out the yellow. Remember we talked about the yellow was so bright? And I found this yellow for a different project and I really like it. It's 3821. It's kind of a golden yellow.
Ooh, that's pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of my new go-to yellow, I think, right now. So anyway,
I'm really loving 729. It's a little more gold than.
Yeah. Oh, that's an oldie moldy.
Yeah,
That's been around for a long time. And then I worked on a new start. It was whatever was called for the 11th, whatever was on Wednesday.
Okay.
I worked on this a couple times also this week because of the way the numbers were called. It was my Cats and Jacks.
Oh yeah.
By Pineberry Lane. So I'm working on Boo. I don't know if you can see that. It does say Boo, but anyway, I changed the color. So I had done part of the moon, and then I did the rest of the moon, and then I did the words. And I actually did the words twice last night because I did them in a grayish green. The color that it's called for, I don't have it. Somehow I didn't buy it, and it's all DMC. So I picked one that I thought would look great. And it didn't show up. So then I just went with the black. I thought black will pop up.
I like the black. It shows up.
Yeah. And I thought, she's a black cat too. What did I do to my screen here?
I don't know.
Anyway, so that got worked on a couple of times, and Wildflower and Honey. And then this killer beast of a piece. Oh, I don't know. Is she here?
No.
Okay. This is a
Sorry.
Tempting Tangles design. They got it off of Creative Poppies.
Yeah.
I don't have a great color picture of it. Oh no, I do. And it's a saying. It says, "Silvery dusk and blushing dawn, the red finch sings the winter song."
Oh, I remember you. Yeah, you showed about this.
Okay, love it, love it. Hate my fabric.
Oh.
I'm gonna keep on it, but it was a chore.
Oh, yeah, it's darker than the one in the pattern, but that's so pretty.
Very dark, and it's wish I remember what count I got. It's probably a 32 count. It might be a 36 count, but I don't know. But finding the holes on this linen, it's like every other hole is kind of scrunched. You know how you have to kind of run your needle to find the holes?
That's kind of how my Snow Queen is.
Yeah, I'm kind of running my needle and trying to count each little divot. Anyway, it was a lot of work, and I basically it was probably 2 hours on this. But I had done all the words. All I had on there before was the yellow. So yeah. I mean, I made good progress, and I do really love it.
Pretty fast.
I'm a little afraid. I don't know. Some of the brown might not show up on here. It should be okay. I think anyway, we'll see. And then I did my smallest whip is a scissor fob from Shepherd's Bush. What's this? Oh, Shepherd's Bush. Oh no. Thanks. Put the fabric in the zipper. Yeah. I'm not even going to show you the picture because it won't show up. Because Shepherd's, but it's a little lamb.
Oh, you had already obviously started this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This was a whip. I basically did the black in the middle of the flower, and then there'll be a button there. Cute. And then I did all the grass under his feet, and then the little border, the little pink and black border. And then I did the back stitching on the flower in his little legs.
Oh,
So, I mean, this is like a tiny little hoop.
it's tiny.
And I have another one in this bag too. This particular one has a pretty involved back piece. It's a basket, and some of them don't have as much on the back, but this one does. So this one's going to take me a little longer. And I don't know when I started this, before I quit cross stitching.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then the same day as I did that, I had a new start. So last year I was so happy to have snagged a copy of Barbara Anna's 4 Seasons Girls that Nitka Moscow, I think, ran. They were kits that came in a tube. I don't unfortunately have a great, I could send Sarah a picture, but it's these 4 girls. You stitch them in a row, they're one long row.
Yeah.
So it's spring, summer, fall, and winter. I'm starting with the spring girl.
Really
and Yasmin, forget her whole Instagram, Yasmin something, and her friend Charlie Feathers were starting this as a stitch along. And so I thought, okay, I've been wanting to start it. So I got that much done.
That's a lot.
I know.
Late, probably a couple nights.
Yeah, I worked on it a couple nights, several hours. Yeah. But she was fun to work on. I had to rip a little bit of her hair out. I was off a little bit, and I thought, I would have left it, except for right here are lines, and there's butterflies hanging here, and I would have been up against it. I didn't want to fudge, so I just ripped a little bit out. Anyway, they're fun, and then she's bright. I mean, she's got like this bright green top on, and
really cute.
I just love them. I told Sarah this linen that they sent with the kit is so nice. I don't even know. I think it's a Zweigert, but it's not. It's just it's not too floppy, and it's not too stiff. So that was that. And then I also throughout the week worked on my hour year calendar. Kind of a style. Somebody else is doing it. Christine
Martinez is doing it?
Martinez, yeah, is doing it too. She had started it last year.
Somebody else posted, and I was trying to remember who.
Yeah. So I don't know if I think I had January done, but I hadn't done the snowman, and I'm off on that snowman, which doesn't show up great on camera, but I'm hoping that when I get it.
Will it matter?
No, it's just that I'm going to have one stitch is going to be a little bit too big. I hate that. But I think I made the mistake clear back here. There's white down here. I don't know. I'm not ripping anything out.
No,
I'm going to make it work. And the nice thing is it's just half a stitch. So, and within this box, so as long as my boxes stay right, I'm okay.
It won't mess up other stuff.
Yeah, it won't mess everything else up. So I did work on that.
Well, we're welcoming ourselves back. We know you didn't go anywhere, but it's the next day and it's nighttime, it's dark, and we're finally getting a chance to finish recording. So here we are. Gonna make it happen.
Open my eyes.
I know.
Late.
It's 10 tonight now.
So we think we ended it where I was going through my whips, and I think I was pretty much done, except for I did find one more that I didn't bring out. So it's not that earth-shattering, but.
And I found one more that I didn't bring out. I forgot.
So it was part of Bringo, and it was last Sunday. And it was I worked some more on this little.
Oh yeah, that's a cute one.
That's blurry, but So basically I finished this first row with lettering, and I did these birds.
Cute.
Yeah.
Letters go so fast.
I think that was it. But since yesterday, when I had started my 4 Seasons SAL, I worked on it. I'm just so in love with it that I've just been working on it. In fact, I didn't do my Bringo today yet. But I showed this yesterday because it's the Barbara Anna, and I think I only had like up to here done. And now I have this far done.
Wow.
And I love her. So, anyway, that is what I've been working on. I'm not pulling what I worked on yesterday because I figured I'll save it for next week's video, but
Yeah, I'm not
That's-
either, but I did find, I think I mentioned when I was sharing my whips that I forgot to grab one. I was just going to show, I worked on
Oh,
this one. I got a good amount of that little top border done. I
that
love it.
border is so cute.
I love it. I think I'm using, I don't think I'm using the called for blue for this border. Let me look really quick. It calls
feel
for
like you-
old blue paint, Gentle Arts, but I'm using
Oh.
dungarees because that's just a blue that I had.
Yeah,
And I really like it. I love this blue. I love the variation in the
it's
color.
really pretty.
So
It's such
that
a
one's kind of
fun border too, you know, kind of,
I love how swoopy it is. It really is very effective in like
yeah.
tying it together. I got a lot of questions in the comments about this piece last week.
Did
And
you?
some people, well, and maybe on Instagram too, I can't remember. Some people said they had never seen them all stitched together. And I was going to say, they're actually designed so that if you do stitch them together, they flow from one to the other if you lay them in the right order. But I made a mistake and I put one in the wrong spot. So mine aren't quite right, but you can kind of see like, this is what I mean.
I see 2 and 3 flow together. Yeah.
These ones flow together. And this one, I think, maybe these were supposed to be next to each other. I can't remember now, like the order that I kind of originally meant to lay them out in. But anyways, I think that the scene generally still holds together and looks pretty.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But I love how this one does kind of carry into the ice skating one. So it
Mhm.
looks like all one scene. And the
Yeah.
border was, you just got it for free, right? At when you bought
Right.
the patterns
So
from-
I bought those patterns for Sarah when I was in Minnesota at Stitchville, USA. Oh, I want to go
They're-
back. They're so bad.
walking in a winter snapper land from Bent Creek.
Yeah. And so when I bought the 4 little patterns,
Mhm.
they gave me that for free, the border for free.
So is it a free border that you can get somewhere?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, maybe they have it like on their website or something. I don't want to show it just in case it's,
Yeah, I don't know.
but
Yeah.
the
I can't
bottom of
remember.
it says one kind word can warm 3 winter months, which I think is kind of cute.
Was that in the border too?
That's the bottom border.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And then
Does it say it's by Bent Creek?
it's Bent Creek.
The border is too?
Yep.
To see our entire line, huh?
So I'm not sure. You could maybe go to their website and get
Yeah,
that.
maybe, or call them or something and say, hey, I want the border.
Or maybe even Stitchville would have it. And
Maybe, yeah.
so
Yeah.
to show that because I had several like questions and comments on it after I
It
showed
was
it
so
back.
long ago. It was like
I know.
so long ago during happy times.
I know. It's been a fun one to stitch too.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have
Yeah.
any haul this week.
Well, I think the only haul I had was I showed the angel stuff, but then I also did get in the mail finally. So my husband gave me winter Quakers for Christmas.
Mm,
And I have a piece of fabric that is in my stash that'll work, but I'm afraid it's a little bit too gray. But I did go ahead and order the thread pack,
oh, pretty.
which they are so pretty.
Gosh, those are gorgeous.
And so that finally came. And I ordered this from Stony Creek. So somebody else asked me where I ordered it from. But Aunt Nancy is also wanting, she started Autumn Quakers and she also has this pattern.
Winter or
And-
autumn? Oh, she started autumn.
But she has winter. So we were talking about starting it together. And she said she had ordered some fabric from Be Stitch Me for it. But she said she may have accidentally ordered 2 pieces. She couldn't tell from her invoice. It was confusing. So we're waiting for that order to come. And if there's a piece, I really like it. It's really pretty. She sent me a picture of it. It's a little more blue. This one that I've got is a little bit too gray. And I'm afraid some of the grayer Valdanis won't show up on it. Yeah, so that's my haul. I don't think there was anything else. No, it's kind of boring. But since we were recording yesterday, I saw you saw it too. There's a fun Olympic stitch along going on
That too.
starting on the 4th of February, and it's being hosted by the Naptime Stitcher on Instagram, all one word. And it's so fun. It's just loose, and she's got a prompt, I think, for every day of the Olympics, starting on the opening ceremony. And there are things like on the opening ceremony day, it's new start or something you started in 2022. Winter Olympics on 2/5, stitch something related to winter. On the 6th, it's the Olympic rings, stitch with the color from the Olympic rings, blue, yellow, black, green, red. Then there's the
Wait, it's not
Dwen, stitch something with an animal.
the nap. Is it the nap time stitcher? Yes, the nap.
Yeah, the nap time.
I was
So
looking at that.
on the 8th, it's curling, stitch a pattern that contains something round.
Yeah, what's Bing Dwen Dwen? Is that something to, what am I not understanding?
I don't know, because I was just looking at that
Kind
going,
of winter sport that they've added? Bing,
I'm going to Google it. Are you Googling it?
Google it.
Bing.
Bing Dwen Dwen. Oh, it's the official mascot of the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know. Are they being hosted in China?
Yeah, Beijing again.
Here's Bing, what is it? Bing Dwen Dwen and Shui Ron.
They always have little math. Oh, they're cute.
They're cute.
So
Okay,
it's an
so that's why
animal.
you're stitching an animal on that one.
Yeah, Nordic combined, stitch something that is part of a series or a multi-part chart. Alpine skiing, it's so fun though. Stitch
Stitcher.
something related. Yeah,
So
stitch
high
something-
tech here. I just hold up my phone.
yeah, just related to skiing. A pair of designers for the biathlon, bobsled, stitch something with 2 or 4 people. Skeleton,
Yeah.
stitch something, huh?
In it, like people in it.
No, I think like if you're doing a stitch along, maybe.
Oh,
Because it's a bobsled, so it's a 2-person event. So probably 2 people
Oh.
stitching something.
I suppose you could even interpret it however you please.
Yeah, skeleton,
That's
stitch
just-
something with a Halloween, freestyle, stitch on a piece of, so it's really easy. Like if you have a lot of whips going, even if you don't have a lot of whips, I'm sure your whips can find something, you can make them fit. Stitch something with a border for speed skating.
Yeah.
Anyway, it looks really fun. It just, and I love, but I'm such an Olympic junkie.
Also, you're kind of a joiner, so anything that's like join in is fun.
I am, but I also watch the Olympics. Not everybody watches the Olympics. And I think there are some people that are not going to watch it because they're protesting it or something, but
Oh,
I love the Winter Olympics. I like them better than the Summer Olympics. Because I like winter. Even though I don't do winter sports.
and to watch more of the Winter Olympics because I'm not as bit like I'm at home more in the.
Right. In the summer, you're more on the go. And
Why do I all of a sudden look so yellow?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss Cassidy because Cassidy, when she was living here, she was a big Olympic fan too. Well, there you
Nope. Okay. Sorry, guys. Here you go.
Woo! I don't know what happened.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna go back to my normal right there, and I'm just gonna. I don't know either. There we go. I guess I'll just scoot
It's
back.
got too close. Anyway, so if you're interested, there's a hashtag. So, you can just follow the hashtag and see what everybody's doing. And it's just kind of a sense of community. When I was really big into knitting, when I knit all the time, there was something called the Ravelinics, and you joined
that's right.
teams and it was fun. You had events like, yeah, they had something similar. And then they actually got sued by the Olympic Committee. Because they didn't call it the Ravelinics. They called it, what did they call it? They called it something that was super close to Olympics. And they got in trouble. And so then they changed it to
I can't believe
Ravelinics.
the Olympics are that trademarked because they're
Yes,
like
they are.
ancient history down to like ancient Greece.
They are though. It was
Like-
I remember it was a big brouhaha. I wonder
Whoa,
if there's anything.
weird. I never really heard about that.
Yeah, it was several years ago. And I'm gonna see if there's anything on their website that talk about it. Recap. No, they're probably not even doing anything fun. I'm not a big Ravelry fan anymore, but anyway, they did have to change the name of it. So I did that for several years with some girlfriends of mine. We would do different challenges and stuff. So to see something with stitching is really kind of fun. So anyway, thought we'd put that out there into the universe. If you're a joiner like me or not.
Let's see. I don't have any haul. My plans are just to keep working on my Baringo and to pull out my Riolis sunflower and get a little bit on for my Whipco.
Yeah.
And I'm getting, even since yesterday when we were filming, I did quite a bit more on that sweater that I'm knitting for Millie.
Okay.
And so I'm really hoping to at least finish the bodice all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to tear out some of that Snow Queen frogging that I have to do. If I
Yeah,
just bite the bullet and get it done, then I'll feel good.
I have to do, well, one of my things on my Bringo board is button up. I also have it on my monthly magazine challenge
Mm-hmm.
to finish it.
You're so close. It's
I'm not gonna get finished. But I do have that to still work on, and I have another piece from last year called Winter's Peace. It's a snowman and it has peace. I have to work like an hour on that. Dreaming Girl Winter for an hour, and then supposedly Gathering Eggs for 2 hours. But I think I was planning on putting Gathering Eggs on my Bringo when I put it on there, and I didn't. So I may not even meet my magazine goals. I'm not going to worry about it, because I do want to work on my Hawk Run Hollow, a year at Hawk Run Hollow, because that's my other whip go. So I need to do 4 hours on that. And I need to start that border.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to do so many hours of that a month. And there was that other challenge, loose challenge. It's just kind of a guideline of the designer focus.
Oh, yeah.
And so this month was Mirabilia Nora Corbett. And so I was going to work a little bit on my Sunflower Fairy.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have to do that for the month. I'm kind of looking at my monthly goal.
I feel like right now I have a lot of things I really like working on.
I do too.
I'm having a hard time. It's not like, oh, I have one that I just really want to work on all the time. I have like a lot that I really wish
I am kind of really in love with this one.
All day, every day.
I know. I am really in love with this one though.
Gosh, I can't get my lighting to work.
And I was thinking, okay, I'm starting with spring. So maybe I'll have spring done before spring is even over.
Mm-hmm.
So I can be a season ahead.
That'd be nice.
There's a lot to go on her though. She has a big blue dress.
There's a lot going on in that skirt.
Yeah, there is. There's little houses and there's other stuff going on above her too. It's typical Barbara Anna.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cute.
Oh.
So cute. Anyway, so we didn't do our giveaway yet, right?
We have not announced our giveaway.
Okay, so we have a winner for
the one that we said to use the word market or flea market. Now
this one
was Norma Hansen. Congratulations, Norma.
Yeah.
You have won flea market souvenir. And I'm just scanning my email really quick to see. I don't love it when Flosstubers use their phone during their Flosstube, but I do not have any emails that I know of from you, Norma. So that means I probably don't have your address. So if you could email us at the email address down below, stitchandstuffxs@gmail.com, your physical address, so we can mail that off. We would be excited to send that to you. So congratulations.
It's really cute. Really cute. And then we do have another one today because I'm fun like that. Taking it out so you don't see the glare. This is a hands-on design. I don't think we've done a lot of hands-on designs.
Yeah.
And it's called the Flower of Winter, and it's a pin cushion and fob.
Oh yeah. Cute.
Hold on. Is it focusing?
Yeah. It's a little pin. Oh, there are little pins stuck in
little
there.
pins, and you get the little fob down here, and the fabric there they give you. So you have the little fabric. It's a felt wool.
So it's not a whole kit, but it does come with the felt wool right there.
It's that fun, yeah, that fun little felt, and it is super cute. Look at that little border with those berries.
And the back is stitched as well.
The
front and back fob. Doesn't show a picture of it behind.
Yes, it is. Oh no, that's the fob.
Is the pattern for just the fob? No.
No.
The whole thing, right?
It's just the back must have, there's words, and I don't see words on the front of the pattern. So I think the back, I think you stitch Flower of Winter. Stillness is the flower of winter. Oh no. Yeah, that must be for the back. And then there's the fob.
Hmm.
Anyway, I probably have to look at it more. I can't do it when I'm on camera, but yeah, I think it has an optional maybe back. You probably don't have to do the back if you don't want to, but it looks like the words are for the back, but it doesn't show a placement for it. So I'm not sure, but we'll let whoever wins it figure it out.
Yeah. So we were going to use the word hands because it's hands-on designs.
Yeah.
You can
Super cute.
find a creative way to use the word hands in your comment. That shouldn't be too hard. We're stitchers. We use our hands all the time.
Yeah, it's so like I love the little we can't see it. There's snowflakes up in the corners and then there's berries down below.
Oh.
I like borders that are a little bit different on the top and bottom. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and there's several of these out there. There was another one that had black and white. Was it black and white check fabric? So there's lots of different ones. I don't know if they're seasonal, if there's a spring one or not. Oh, it's from a saying or a poem. Stillness is the flower of winter. All hope waits beneath a blanket of white.
All
Cool.
hope waits beneath a blanket.
Yeah. So I think that's probably it, right? I mean,
yeah.
We did our plans.
Any interesting book chat?
I'm still reading my all the flowers in Paris, and it is good. It's, some of the books I've read lately have taken me a lot longer to slog through, but this is just nice, easy reading. And even though the storyline is getting a little intense, the World War II French occupation storyline that runs through it is getting, it's going to get tense because it was a terrible time. And there's still the mystery of the current day gal who's got amnesia and has no idea.
Yeah, that's right.
Who she is, but she's getting an idea that she was not a very loved or nice person. And there's some tragedy, there's a tragedy in her life. You just don't know what. So it is an interesting and intriguing storyline. It'll be interesting to see how they merge. She does know she's found some stuff. There's a bedroom in her apartment that's all decorated modern, but there's a bedroom in the apartment at the end of the hallway that has not really been redone. It looks old. And you figure out that this is the apartment where the World War II gal probably lived. And she's found some letters. And so somehow the storylines are going to mash together.
Right. And see why that bedroom.
If you like that style of writing, I would recommend her. Most of her books have that kind of same plot line that go through. That's kind of her thing.
Yeah. I've never read anything by her, but I should give her a try.
There was one I read by her. Oh, a lot of them are set here in the Northwest, but then she's also done some over in Europe. But there was one where it involved a current day gal, and somehow her story was linked to a woman, a pretty destitute single woman in Seattle during World War II or the Depression, whose child was kidnapped.
Oh.
And I remember it was a pretty cool, spectacular way that the stories merged. So they're not all romancy. They're not your typical romance. They're more, you know what I mean? It's not chick lit. So anyway, what about you?
I'm still reading Maisie Dobbs, the third one, and enjoying it. Just read a little bit most nights. I've been doing some school reading. So I actually just started reading Captain's Courageous, which is a classic by Kipling. I'm trying to keep ahead of Liddy in it, and she's reading it, and I think she'll be able to do it on her own with just a few conversational introductory things from me maybe each day. But that one is good. She and I read Kim last year by Kipling. It was much harder to follow. I think because it's set in British Imperial India.
A whole different world.
There's a lot of like military, and it's like kind of a spy novel almost, like this kind of a spy, but there's a lot of terminology that's really different, and the worldview is really different than what we kind of have. And anyway, that one was interesting and it was good, and I think I might still go on and finish it, and I should finish it with her because we were really not that far from the end, but it was kind of hard to get through. I don't think Captain's Courageous will be like that. It's about a boy who falls overboard, this like wealthy brat. His father's a railroad tycoon in the West out here. And anyway, so I started that. Maisie Dobbs, those are kind of the main things I'm reading at night. Some school, like other chapters here and there. And yeah, so that's
We finished watching Station 11.
okay. I haven't gone back to watch it yet, so you're further than I was.
Well, I will just say,
Did you
if you're
finish
looking for a weird sci-fi, not sci-fi, apocalyptic.
fiction? Yeah.
It is a very, it's hot. I mean, Sarah read the book, but I think they did stray from the book. It sounds like, because I kind of read about it later,
Yeah.
to kind of make the movie make sense. Because I think it would be hard, from what it sounded like, to make the book into a TV show. But I think it was with the integrity, like it kept. There was a little bit more expounding of some characters and centralizing action in one spot to give that unity. I'm not going to say much because I don't want to give away, but
Yeah.
I was a little worried at the second to the end. I'm like, I hope they end this, because I'm a happy ending girl. Even in the middle of an apocalypse, there needs to be a happy ending. And it does have a very good ending, and it does do a nice job of, bringing things around, and you do finally understand. There's a lot of episodes we stopped, we'd end the episode and we're like, huh?
What's going on?
What? What?
Yeah.
I do think it would also be helpful if you generally had an idea of Hamlet and King Lear.
Yeah.
Because that does tie into, at least in the movie, at the very end.
Sorry.
The first. Whoa, are you having an earthquake there, honey? Tsunami.
I'm on the floor, which is probably not the best. My chiropractor that I'm seeing right now would probably be like, don't do that. But
yeah.
He also told me, try not to look down for a little bit. Like, just don't spend a lot of time looking down. And I'm like, I'm constant. Like, what do you mean don't look down? I spend every night like this on the couch. I can't imagine why
just like this.
I know. So now I'm like,
yeah. So anyway, if you watch that, you might want to just do like a quick synopsis of the plot, because it does tie in. And I did quick kind of Google a little bit in the middle of it. I said, stop it. I want to look this up to see who these characters are. But it was good. And then I told Sarah before we started recording that we had talked about this show on our podcast on this channel a while ago when you brought it up, The Night Manager, which is a Le Carre novel.
Yeah.
And I've never read Le Carre, but I know he's pretty intense. And they made it into a 6 episode TV show. I think there's a season 2, maybe not. Anyway, we never finished it. My husband saw it and said, we never finished this series. So we were just in the middle of this last episode when Sarah texted me and said, I'm ready to Flosstube. It's very intense. Hugh Laurie's in it. And, that hot guy from Thor. No, not Thor.
No, he plays Loki, and he's like
Loki.
Oh,
he's pretty hot.
He's my celebrity crush. Yeah, I mean, I kind of like him even as Loki. I'm always kind of like,
he's kind of a bad boy. So that was good. And then I binged this weekend the Netflix documentary Cheer 2. If you watched Cheer 1. I'm not even a cheerleader, but it is a fascinating look into the world of collegiate cheerleading, because it's a whole thing. It's just like a whole thing like dance, right? There's a hierarchy, there's competitions, there's a lot of competing against each other for spots. But it also, when I watched Cheer 1 in 2021, the first season, it was kind of like rah, 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 and it was really focusing on this little college down in Texas, Navarro. And my feeling was, they made it into an underdog school, but I feel like now, like they've won like 14 championships. So I'm not really, I need to go back and kind of look at that. But anyway, so when the series 2 starts, I'm really rooting for Navarro. I mean, I really like the coach. Her name is Monica. She was actually on Dancing with the Stars during the COVID break. And I really like her. She's very tough, but she really cares about these kids. And a lot of these kids that get into cheer are you either have the very elite or you have the very, very poor, who are not necessarily, poor, where gyms kind of sponsor them, and that come from not very good homes, and they kind of work their way up into college, on cheer, and they get cheer scholarships. She very much treats them as adults, but as adults who need help, because especially a lot of the guys, in cheer are gay. And I think they've had very, very rough childhoods and teen years. And so they come very, very, trouble's not the word, but they're not able to cope well. And she really cares about them and fosters almost a mother relationship, but not inappropriate, but just hardline, like this is how real life is. But they really respect her. So I was really cheering them on. They had a lot of issues, and actually Cheer 2, the season started off in the fall of 2019, because they start in September, and then they have their big championship in April of the next year. So then it kind of skipped ahead to January, February of 2020. And at first they're not talking about COVID at all. And then all of a sudden it's like 2 weeks before their big nationals, and they're working hard. And it's amazing, these routines. I mean, I look at them and I'm like, how do they do this? And they're, and then they canceled the world. They canceled it. And so they had followed a lot of these kids that are seniors that year, and they're not gonna be able to come back. And so this is their world. So anyway, then there was they had a scandal with a previous gymnast that rocked their world, rocked her world. She was on Dancing with the Stars when it happened. She had an assistant coach that was coaching them in the fall of 2020. And then she came back after Dancing with the Stars, and then it followed them until April of 2021. Yeah, and they got to go to work. They got to go to the championship. I won't say anything in case people watch it. They probably won't. But it's an interesting, if you like documentaries, and it's easy to stitch to. Although I have to stop when they're doing their big competitions because I want to watch every one of them. But that was a world that I wasn't a part of in school or anything. Cheering and I know that there's a big college. The second season also focused on their competing school down the road from them. So Navarro is in a little town called Corsicana, and there was another school in there. There's only 2 of them, I think, that qualify their size of school in the championships. And so they're competitors.
What about?
You still up?
Yeah, no, he is.
Oh. Anyway, so they also went into a lot of that school. It's called Trinity, and you got to know some of their star athletes. And anyway, it was fun. It was kind of a no-brainer. I had to take a break from the murder shows.
Yeah.
I
A break from the murder shows.
I needed to take a break because I was starting to freak out about my kids a little bit.
So everybody's going to get murdered, or you think maybe we were murderers?
Did I tell you about Austin and Kelly? So Austin and Kelly, baby Penny's parents, we had called them yesterday. We had gone to Costco, and we called them and said, hey, do you need anything while we're here? And they said, yeah, can you pick up some raspberries? I said, sure. Penny loves raspberries. So my husband had called them, and he hung up, and he ran to get the raspberries while I went to look at the eye vitamins because I have to take something for my eyes now. And so when we went up, he goes, I found them. And so I said, well, let's just drop them off on the way home. I mean, it had been like 15 minutes since we called them. I mean, we were at the end of our shopping trip. And we pull up to their house, and it's like 4:45. And I know darn well that Penny is not taking a nap because she goes to bed at 7:30. So we go up to the door, and the lights are off, and there's toys everywhere in the living room, like a toddler lives there, but no Penny, no screaming, no jabbering, no nothing. And we knock, and nobody comes to the door. And I thought, well, okay, maybe we should just back away. Maybe they're, busy. But it didn't make sense because Penny would be running around. She wouldn't be taking a nap at 5 o'clock. And their car was in the driveway. So I thought, okay, let it go. So we drive home, and I texted him, hey, the raspberries are by the front door, thinking, okay, if they're home, they'll get the text, and he'll say, okay, thanks, Mom. Nothing, no response to my text message. So we're home about a half hour, and I'm like, hey, I don't want to call because maybe they're busy. And so I texted, hey, I don't want to bother you, but I'm a little worried. I watch those murder shows. Ha. But
I'm not really joking because
I know Penny's not taking a nap at 5 o'clock, but nobody was there when we knocked. Then I said, maybe you went for a walk, because they do go for walks a lot. It had just dawned on me as I'm texting them, oh, maybe they went for a walk. So I sent the text. He goes, "Oh, Mom, I'm sorry. I told Dad we were at the park when he called, but he must not have heard. And I also told him we would swing by and pick up the raspberries, but he didn't hear that either. He said, we're home now. We're just making dinner. We're fine." But I mean, once that little, it's like, it's like the one time I wouldn't follow up, it would be something major. And part of that goes along with my feeling of doom right now. This is not funny. I mean, this is actually kind of serious.
Yeah.
I feel I'm not anxious all the time, but kind of like, when's the next shoe gonna drop kind of feeling. Like and I was talking to my friend about it today, and she goes, "I totally understand, Kim. It's like you've got this thing that you're just waiting to drop and smash you." I said, "Yeah, if my kids call me at an unusual time, I'm always like, oh my gosh, what's wrong?" And that's not normally me. And speaking of which, I did get one of those kind of phone calls because my son, who was flying home from Miami to Duluth to their new home, had an attack of his appendix on the plane. And he had a layover in Chicago, and he could barely walk, apparently, because he was in so much pain. And then he got to Duluth, and then he couldn't find an Uber that would come pick him up at 10 o'clock at night. He finally got an Uber home. And then the next day he went into urgent care. Then they said, "You gotta go to the hospital. We don't have any imaging here." So, I mean, weird things like this are happening to me, to my family.
He's fine.
He's fine.
I saw his little laparoscopic holes today, and he's fine.
So do you?
Yep, I got to see him.
Oh, I should have asked. I'm sure he would have shown them to me too. Anyway,
he had the bandages off because he had taken a shower. You can already shower and stuff.
I know. It's just insane. I know. But anyway. So that's why I need to lay off the murder shows for a while.
Yeah.
And maybe the medical shows.
Go back to Ted Lasso or something.
We watched all of Ted Lasso.
Just watch him again. Watch Parks and Rec. Watch something light and cheerful.
Parks and Rec, they took off.
They take it off, yeah. Okay.
They did. I was going to go back and start watching it, and it was gone.
Yeah, I did. I knew they were.
I am going to finish
Gilmore
up Wonder
Girls.
Years.
Watch Gilmore Girls. Light and cheery and funny and a little emotional, but.
You know what? Did you ever finish the Gilmore Girls?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't feel like the ending of that show was that light and funny.
I can't really remember. Yeah, I didn't feel like it either, but I can't really remember.
The beginning episodes were fun.
Not entirely light and funny.
No.
Anyway,
yeah.
We just started a new show that I know we want to watch an episode of, if Jesse can stay awake, called The Sinner. So we should end up and go.
Sinner?
It's a murder show.
It's a murder show?
Not a true murder show. It's kind of like a Why Done It, Jesse said. He's watched some of it before. Bill Pullman, who's also like lovely. I love him.
He's in it?
Yeah, he's a real broken mess in this first season.
He plays that well, though.
But he's a detective. I know. He's a detective.
It's kind of pathetic.
A woman, it's going to be I can tell it's going to be really intense. A woman sort of snaps and kills somebody in public. Mm-hmm. And then it's kind of like the whole show is kind of trying to figure out why she did that.
Why she did it. Oh, yeah. You know what happened. It's just a matter
what happened because you've seen it all and you know who did it and you don't know why or what's going on.
There was a TV show that was like that too, but it wasn't called The Sinner. It was several years ago, but it was like you knew the crime and you actually saw the crime happen. How did that work? But they worked backwards on it. Like it was really an interesting premise, but I don't think it got picked up. It's probably network TV and things just don't stay on very long. The Sinner, huh? I'll have to ask Dad about that one.
I can't even remember what it's on. It's pretty intense. You should
probably. There's another one. We saw another one. I think it's on Netflix or HBO called Raised by Wolves. And it's a sci-fi kind of on another planet. Androids are raising humans and.
Oh, no, that's not the one I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah. I thought, well, we might give that a try. Yeah.
Well, you guys got you get a little dose of TV chat when you get
late night rambling.
What we're going to watch now before we go to bed.
Okay, we should stop.
Thanks for watching. Congratulations again to Norma. Email us. And
if you're watching something good, let us know.
Yeah, or reading.
Or reading too.
By adding things to our GoodReads, which is
and send us also a WIP or a finished product for our project for our friendly featured friends. Oh my gosh. I have to go to work in a few hours. I don't want to go to work. My mind's a mess.
Yeah, a while before you have to go to work.
Okay, I gotta go. I gotta go finish watching The Night Manager.
Thanks for joining us for our rambling weird episode.
Happy stitching and be safe.
Happy stitching. Bye.